Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Friday, July 29th, and this is the MLB DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be doing a quick little recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out. Talking about my core picks for the FanDuel main slate today. It is a 13-game main slate overall, so a very large slate. And then going over to my article over at WeBetATS.com and talking about my top GPP stacks for today's slate as well. But without further ado, we'll get started with a recap of yesterday's picks. We're going to start off at the pitcher position with Zach Wheeler at $10,700. Got to 49 points. He was a hit yesterday, and I believe the third overall pitcher on yesterday's slate, I believe Shohei Ohtani finished higher than him at the very end of the day, as well as, I think, Brady Singer. Don't quote me on that, though. But then we had Chris Bryant at $3,800 at third base. Got to 9 points, so he was a push yesterday. Not anybody that really put your lineup over the top, but definitely not anybody that hurt you by any means. Same thing can be said about Javier Baez at $2,600, obviously former Cubs teammates. He got to 3 points yesterday, so he was a push as well. And then the first outfielder that we did have was Franmil Reyes, $2,300. Had pretty decent history versus Cutter Crawford, 2 for 2 versus him going into the day. Ended up going 0 for 4 yesterday, so he is a miss as he ended up with 0 points. And then last but not least, we had Cody Bellinger, who continued his hot streak against Jose Urena. And he was $2,800. He got to 19.2 points yesterday, so he was hit. So kind of a hit or miss day overall. You need some other decent plays to go along with this. If you had like a Xander Bogaerts and a Matt Chapman, you still probably cash, but those were kind of the two top hitters there. And Bogaerts kind of randomly hit a home run and stole 2 bases towards the very end of the game. So that was just kind of a fluke there, but there's always going to be some randomness to MLB DFS. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to my core picks for today. So we're going to start off at the pitcher position. There is a lot of great pitching options today. I went at the very top with Justin Verlander. Going against the Seattle Mariners, he's pitched very well versus them so far this season. He's averaging 42 fantasy points per game. Been pitching very well overall, so there is definitely a ton of upside with him today. I expect him to be pretty popular, but we also have guys on this slate like Garrett Cole, Brandon Woodruff, Alek Manoah, Kyle Wright if you want to go that direction. There's a lot of good pitching options at the top today, even down to Martin Perez at $9,700. Definitely a lot of different options out there, so maybe he won't be quite as popular as he would be on other slates. Then we're going to move down to catcher with Gary Sanchez at $2,300, averaging over 8 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the San Diego Padres and Blake Snell today. He is 6 for 20 with 5 home runs versus Blake Snell in his career, so hopefully he's hitting home run number 6 versus him today and giving us a ton of upside there. Then at second base, this was kind of my last guy in here just because he has no history versus Brian Bayo, the starting pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, and it's Luis Urias at $2,600, averaging over 9.5 fantasy points per game on the season. You can play him at second base, shortstop, third base, so he's a very versatile piece. If you do not want to play him today for whatever reason, you could also look at Josh Donaldson at the same price, but he's at third base. He is 3 for 11 with 2 home runs versus Chris Bubic in his career, but I definitely like the upside that Luis Urias could offer today, going against a rookie pitcher who he's never faced before. Then at shortstop, we have Carlos Correa at $2,900, averaging just under 10 fantasy points per game on the season. A guy that started out the season very, very slow, but turned it up in a big way as of late. He's got a hit in 8 out of his last 10 games, so definitely somebody to consider today going against Blake Snell, who he's 2 for 6 versus in his career. Could be some upside there as well. And then even if we go back to Luis Urias real quick, he's on a 6-game hitting streak himself, so that does offer quite a bit of upside there as well. And then last but not least, we got Nick Castellanos, who's starting to hit the ball once again. Goes against the Pittsburgh Pirates and Jose Quintana today. He is 11 for 38 versus him in his career with 2 home runs at $2,300. Offers a good amount of upside at a very, very cheap price tag. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that do have listed here, you'll have $13,800 remaining, just over $3,400 per player. If you want to try to pay up for a player or two, you could definitely do it and then find some other value options. But if you want to take a little bit more balanced approach, that's definitely a viable option today as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to my article over at WeBetATS.com and talk about my top GPP stacks for today. So the ones that we do have for today, I got the Colorado Rockies once again. Obviously, that did not work out very well versus Tyler Anderson yesterday as they got shut out. But they have very good history versus Julio Urias. He pitched a little bit better versus them last time, but this game still is at Coors Field. Rockies ownership is probably going to be suppressed due to yesterday, so I would not be afraid to go back to them once again today. Then I have the Minnesota Twins. Obviously, 2 of them are in my core picks. Some of these guys have hit Blake Snell very well, and the other ones that have no history versus him are hitting the ball pretty well as of late. Then we have the St. Louis Cardinals. Obviously, we didn't expect them to be that great against the Blue Jays without Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado, but they played pretty well without him. They get them both back today, going against the Washington Nationals, and Anibal Sanchez today should be a very good day for this Cardinals team overall. And then last but not least, we had the Toronto Blue Jays going against Brian Garcia, making his first career start. Previously a bullpen arm, has not pitched in the majors yet this season. Going to be a bullpen game once again for Detroit. Obviously, we saw that yesterday with Tyler Alexander. He was able to go 4 innings. Very unlikely that Brian Garcia goes more than 3. So going to be a very interesting day for this Tigers bullpen and this Toronto Blue Jays team overall today. But with that being said, these are my core picks as well as top GPP stacks for today, July 29th. As always, if you have any questions related to MLB DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on today's slate, whether it's someone from my core 5 picks, whether it's someone from my top GPP stacks, or whether it's a completely different player you guys think I missed. Definitely interested in hearing what you have to say. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, primarily MLB DFS at this point in time. But once we get back around to the NFL and NBA regular seasons, I'll be covering those 2 sports as well. And then with that being said, if you're a newer current subscriber who's yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily MLB DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.